Hello everyone, welcome to Snack Chats. Today we are going to be talking about the new Rocko and Invader Zim new Nickelodeon Netflix specials.
Are they even really Nick? Because, I didn't see any Nickelodeon reference at all. Legit Netflix just took off.
Well, we'll talk more about that later. But just as fair warning, this is going to be a spoiler discussion, so if you haven't seen the new Rocko and Invader Zim specials, just click off this video and give it a watch for yourself.
We thought it was amazing before we click off. Okay, bye.
Are the spoiler-free people gone?
3, 2, 1. Alright, spoilers. Rocko dies. Yay. Anyways.
So I guess we'll talk about Rocko first, since that was the first one that came out.
Oh, and Heifer officially goes to Camp Laswell, and then we see him get ransacked by, Lumpus?
Scoutmaster Lumpus.
Yeah, Scoutmaster Lumpus, totally just puts him into,
a broom closet.
And then Heifer, just somehow survives off of, nothing.
I guess the canon ending for both Rocko and Camp Laszlo is that Heifer took a job as a scoutmaster, then got ransacked by Lumpus, who ended up taking his job, and no one knew until the very last episode.
Exactly. So yeah.
So, before we start talking about Static Cling, what's your history?
Rocko's modern life, Static Cling.
Yeah. Did you have any history with the Rocko series growing up?
Not growing up. Literally, I honestly thought I was just a weird character growing up. I was a Disney kid because my granddad either didn't have it or because I'll be legit, I didn't get cable until I was 7. And that's when I mainly missed a lot of the good 90s stuff.
Yeah.
Unless I wanted to wake up too early. But either way, just Nickelodeon was not really part of my childhood except for SpongeBob VHS tapes.
I guess for me, I was still a baby when it was first running in at the height of its popularity. But I did watch a good handful of reruns later. And I did watch a few of the more important episodes that related to the special. I did watch the Wacky Deli episode, which had Ralph, now Rachel Bighead. So, I guess we could start talking about the special itself.
Well, here's more of my history with it. I did eventually watch Rocko later down the line. I'm not sure if there was DVDs of it, so this was in my college time, where we were all just going to Kiss Cartoon or whatever and just.
Oh, you mean watching it legally on our overclocked PCs? Yeah.
Exactly. On the projector, too, to show the whole class and everything.
We were watching it in our totally legal DVDs.
Exactly.
Go download Verve today and watch Rocko.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Not sponsored. Verve has everything that you could ever want from a streaming service. It has Nickelodeon and Boomerang. And the shitty Rooster Teeth show Ruby.
Okay, let's stop that. Anyways, I'm not supporting Ruby. I just wanted to continue. Just want to make that clear. But yeah. Anyways, my history of it was that when I saw the character while I was older, I was just I like the colors on his shirt. And I wear Hawaiian shirts now. I want to watch this now. And then I didn't like it for the comedy. Neither do I really think anyone really did. I liked it for the
relatability.
Yeah, because I honestly felt like Rocko was me if I grew up in the actual 90s, anytime after 18 years old. It sounds pretty specific, but it just feels like me growing up in the 90s. If I was Rocko's age. And, you know, he even has the same attire and everything. It's just that the only difference is that I'm gay and he's straight.
Yeah.
So, and even then that's questionable.
I guess with the special itself, it starts off where the last episode ended, where they fly up into space. And they've been floating in space for like the last few decades. And they re-enter the Earth, where they have a bunch of modern-day adventures.
Ooh, like going into a Starbucks thing, whatever it's called in their universe, and getting like the latest iPhone, even though they only been on the Earth for like 5 minutes.
How can they even afford it?
They went into the couch cushions and ate all their munchies or whatever.
What?
Yeah, but like remember Heifer like gets all the grub from like the.
But how do they get the money?
It grows in the couch.
Whatever. Pretty much that scene that everyone saw in the trailers when they first returned to.
Oh wait, no. I actually have a good logical explanation. So they somehow like they just don't breathe, and then they leave the house whenever they were bored. And like they somehow like get a space rock and then they give it to NASA for like $1 million just off screen.
Shut up. Anyway, just sort of like the beginning scene that everyone saw in the trailers where they're like doing a lot of modern stuff does feel a tad bit dated, like already surprisingly.
Well, it goes into production for a while.
Yeah, I know that. On top of, like, the year or two of, I won't say development hell, but publishing hell.
It probably was just publishing hell to, like, try and get all the rights and all the actors and all the creator.
Well, everyone was sort of in on it. But, like, I have a little theory that I'll talk about later.
Okay. But, yeah.
So, pretty much everything's changing.
Including trans representation.
Yeah, but a bit on that later. I guess while they return, like, the big heads, what's the name of, like, the big head guy?
What do you mean? Like the big head guy?
Like, the neighbor?
He's just Mr. Big Head.
I thought he had, like, a first name.
He probably does, but only the wife refers to him like that. It's always Mr. Big Head according to Rocko.
Screw it, I'm Googling it.
No, okay, whatever. So, what were you trying to talk about for Mr. Big Head?
Pretty much while this is happening, an error causes, like, his company to pretty much crumble. And he's losing his house, and all this change is happening super rapidly. So
it's all because Rocko. Rocko screwed up the economy mainly just because.
When the rocket was landing back in, it caused Mr. Big Head to make a fatal, like.
He was distracted by Rocko's rocket, and as such, for some reason, everything became zero in his account, and then just made the company go bankrupt.
His name is Ed, by the way.
Ed Bighead. It makes sense.
So yeah. So the only way to save the town is to bring back Rocko's favorite television show, the Fatheads.
Because Rocko literally tells Ed Bighead that, like, you'll make millions if you do this.
Don't you know that cartoon reboots are super profitable?
Ah, cool! A big budget reboot of a thing I loved as a kid! Those are always great!
Man, I can't wait to see 2019 Lion King. That's sure to be a box office hit.
and then actually becomes the most profitable animated show, well, I mean movie.
It makes you sad.
It makes me really sad.
Anyway.
So, yeah.
Also, at the beginning of the special, when they're about to watch the Fatheads, the VHS that they brought out was orange, like the old Nickelodeon VHSs.
Yes! Oh my god, the nostalgia. That's how I would watch SpongeBob all the time. Just take out the orange tapes, man. Just take it out.
So they use a drone to fly all over the place, and they find Rachel Bighead. So I guess story-wise, in Rocko canon, expect this to be in Kingdom Hearts 4, by the way.
By the way, Sora's trans.
Shut up. At the end of Wacky Deli, the Rocko episode, like, Rachel Bighead was trying to get an out for the cartoon industry because, like, they were sick of it. So, at the end of the episode, they decide to, you know, go soul searching and whatever. And we see the outcome of that. They now drive a sort of bootleg ice cream truck where they have, like, ice pops of, like, the Fatheads.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's like the off-model popsicle sticks.
Yeah, like, just
like the Sonic Pops.
Yeah, like the Sonic Pops everyone always used to eat. Even, like, they would always get super hyped at Sonic, and then you just instantly realize it's deformed, but you don't care and still eat it.
Like a month or two ago, we went back to my hometown, and there was an ice cream truck, and we bought a pair of Angry Birds Icy Pops.
I was so sad that there wasn't any Sonics.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they're doing Angry Birds, though.
Well, it's still popular, and the second movie got announced and shit around the time we got it.
But my favorite is still Tweety Bird.
I used to like the Bubbles Ice Pops, like Powerpuff Girls Bubbles.
Yeah, I used to like Lucha Lucha Ice Pops.
I never even knew that they existed until you told me the other day.
I think it was more because it was made more by Blue Bunny or something. I think that was more of like a limited company.
Yeah. Anyway, back to actual Rocko. Shove Ice Pops, please. Like, someone's watching us like, I want to know more about the Rocko special. Where are they gonna get to the fireworks factory?
And it's all about nostalgia.
So yeah. And it's revealed that the character that was once Ralph Bighead is now Rachel Bighead. They did some soul searching, and now they just, and now they're trans, and, you know, found out more about themselves, and I'm super proud of Rachel Bighead.
I'm just glad that she is, what is it?
Like, she's much happier now, yeah.
Right. And I like how they kept pretty much the same voice, even though, she is no longer a he. Like, I don't know, I think it's sort of charming.
Yeah. Because, you know, people who are trans can't really change up their voices that much. They either change throughout the transition, and, you know, sometimes hormones and stuff, like, naturally changes their voice.
But yeah, so yeah. I'm just glad they made it in that way.
And the story was supernatural and stuff. And, like, it doesn't feel like something that they intentionally shoehorned in to get, like, the newer audience. It feels like something that they were passionate about. Because even the story of Rachel Bighead, even before the whole transitioning thing, was just, you know, feeling outcasted by their family. Because, like, the episode I Have No Son and Wacky Deli, they deal with, like, the, you know, parental issues of just not fitting into a family and not agreeing with your father and all that.
And she was basically just unhappy. She looked unhappy before the transition. And now she's happy, but still seems like the same character.
Yeah.
So it just didn't feel forced. They used the right character from the nostalgia ages.
Yeah. And Rachel seemed like the perfect character for this sort of thing. And, like, when they bring her back to continue the Fatheads reboot, Ed Bighead isn't that happy about it. I mean, he's already going through a lot of shit. Like, his house is getting torn down, his company's going down the drain. And just this, like, one more change is the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Yeah, the change that, like, you know, that...
pushes him over the edge.
Yeah, that Rachel is a thing now. That's what pushes him over the edge. And I honestly think he's, like, if he was given the time to accept... I feel like it would have been a lot more smoother transition, but he was already struggling with so much about change that one extra thing just was just like, no, can you just not be the thing that changes? Like, we need something that didn't change and you go up and change. Like, I think that was the moment. Like, I feel like if he was still in his, like, multi-million-dollar, like, supervisor job or whatever, I feel like he would just be like, what? What is this? What is even trains? And then, like, then
are you like a train conductor now?
Like, something like that. And then, like, you know, just he would want his child regardless, but because there was so much change, he just didn't want change.
You know, the episode title, I Have No Son, is now much funnier in hindsight. But yeah, I guess the biggest theme around the whole special itself is just how change is gonna happen inevitably, and like, you don't have to like all the changes that happen in your life, but you do have to accept them, or else you're just gonna get blown back by the winds of change.
Right, which Infinity Train, like, does go over a lot better. But, like,
well,
Rocko,
I say Rocko did it in their own unique way.
Yeah, like, if they did it in, like, Infinity Train's way, then it would have been mad forced.
And, like, it's an important message, and the way that Ed Bighead sort of, like, came around at the end. He wasn't, like, forced into anything or something like that. He just realized that, you know, Rachel's still his family, and, like, it's, they're still really important to them. Even at the end of the day, no matter if they're Ralph or Rachel.
Yeah. Like, you know, there are certain things, like, I'm sure that any parents that want to be grandparents, like, including my own, like, when you say that you're gay or something, that they're instantly gonna think, like, where the fuck are the grandkids gonna be then? And then it's just like, you know, I mean, just stuff like that. But regardless, they'll still be open and loving, like, you're still their child. And I feel like Ralph Bighead is a good experience. Like, even...
You mean Ed?
Yeah. I don't know why I said Ralph. Ed Bighead is definitely, like... It shows that there's going to be that awkward moment and stuff like that with those parents.
It's going to be that awkward transition into acceptance.
Most of the time there is going to be that awkward transition. I didn't have that awkward transition other than, like, where the grandkid's going to be. But...
And then at the end, after the whole reconcile between Ed and Rachel, Rocko decides to flip his lid over a change in his old cartoon.
Yeah, because they added a kid, which I honestly don't blame them. Like,
well, I think this is sort of like a meta thing. Like, that's how the crew predicts how, like, a lot of, like, the older fans are gonna react to Rachel Bighead.
Yeah.
But he turns around really quickly because, you know, sometimes when you, like, take a step back and, like, evaluate everything, like, there are situations where people just get, like, really heated and angry over something, but they just need, like, a moment to cool down and reflect, and they'll, like, turn around really quickly and just realize that it's not that big of a deal, and I can, you know, work with this.
Right.
And that's sort of what Rocko had. Like, he just need a moment, just need a little push, and, like, he was able to turn around at the end.
Yeah, it just felt sort of drastic and out of character for Rocko, though. But at the same time...
yeah, his, like, reconciliation at the end does seem kind of rushed because he was going all angry, like, they add a kid character to my favorite children's cartoon. This is the worst thing ever, and I'm gonna complain about this on Reddit, which now exists. And then everyone's like, Rocko, just chill the fuck out. And he was like, okay. It seemed kind of appropriate for Rocko, though.
Yeah. I feel
because
like...
Rocko seems like the type of guy who will get super heated at something until someone's like, dude, just chill, and he's like, okay.
That would be me. Like, as a teenager or something. But yeah, I do feel like if it was a whole episode on Rocko just actually, like, becoming a Reddit person, I feel like that would be a new age episode for Rocko.
I mean, if they want to continue Rocko after this, I feel like they honestly can.
And
because,
now's
like,
the best
since
time.
it's Rocko's modern life, they can tackle, like, a lot more modern issues. Because, like, Rocko's modern life was modern for the 90s. It would be interesting to see Rocko handle issues that we have today.
Yeah, I mean, it was revolutionary for, like, its messages and everything. It wasn't really truly about comedy or even specifically to be a kid's show.
I think the message for the special was, like, really good.
Yeah, so definitely just, I hope they continue it just for the betterment of society.
Before we end this off, we'll do Invader Zim in part 2 of this video.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Before that, I did notice, like, in the middle of the special, they did sort of have, like, a jab at, like, computer animation that did seem, like, out of place. Like,
yeah.
Man, isn't computer animation dumb and stupid lazy?
Even though we're animated now with computers.
That felt like a really, like, old man, like, sort of joke. Like,
yeah, but then there...
Hey, let me just press the make a cartoon button on my Mac.
Hey, hon.
Yeah.
Are we animated by computers?
Yes.
Damn it.
We are character animators.
Yeah.
Anyway, this has been part 1. We'll be talking about Invader Zim in part 2. For now, you guys have
a great day.
Good night, good morning, whatever. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever. Later.
Hakuna Matata.